Arsenal are heading to the quarterfinals. They defeat Bayern Leverkusen 3-1 over two legs. They defeat them 2-0 in the second leg. And we got a lot to talk about. Overall, very, very satisfied with the performance today from Arsenal. And you have to start with the attack, specifically Eze. Eze. This guy has been getting more on the ball recently in the last couple of weeks. At least that's how it feels to me. And even something we saw in the game over the weekend against Everton, he's starting to take a lot more of these longer shots. And that's what we saw again today versus Leverkusen. He hits an absolute screamer. I don't know how he hit that, but that is really his expertise. I mean, we've seen him hit these shots with Crystal Palace in the past. He's even had a few with Arsenal, but I just love that he, number one, had the confidence to go for that shot, because the amount of breathing room that that type of shot gives you if you actually hit it, which of course he did, it just makes Arsenal feel so much more comfortable in this game. You then all of a sudden have a lead over the tie. You're at home. The vibes are just 10. And of course, it's Eze. Eze is going to make everyone feel better just because of his story with Arsenal this year. But I felt like the attack really, really opened up, even a little bit prior to that. But once Eze made it, 1-0 over the second leg, it just felt like the attack really started to get going. And I have to say, I feel like the attack was probably one of the better, attacks that we've seen from Arsenal in the last couple of weeks to maybe months. I'm not saying it was anything generational, but again, for the real Arsenal fans that have been watching this team every single game, when we're grinding for some of these results, like the game against Chelsea, where it's just pure ugly football, set piece football, but that's what's going to get you over the line. It was refreshing to see us play this type of football, and that's something we've been doing more in Europe this year. And again, Leverkusen have been very, very good defensively. I don't even know if I can really get on Leverkusen for allowing that shot, because it was just in that degree of just expertise. Like, it was just that crazy of a shot, but still, I just felt like the attack looked better. I just thought that they looked a little bit better. Maybe it's the fact that Ben White was out there. Yes, of course, you would have liked to see Timber, but Timber's dealing with an injury. And again, this goes all the way back to what we've been saying about Arsenal all year, is this year feels different because of the squad depth. I mean, if Ben White is, your right back, and he's your second right back, that can just be plug and played in a Champions League, round of 16 game just out of nowhere, and he continues to do his thing, it just shows you how good this squad is. So I think he did a lot for the team. And again, Eze, man, he really got it going. And once again, it was going. I felt like Arsenal really had a lot more control of this game heading into the second half. And the second half felt like more of the same, just being comfortable, definitely some decent attacking from Arsenal, but also continuing to be defensively sound. I never really felt like Leverkusen had some serious chances until like the end of the game, literally the last couple of minutes, where Raya again makes a just gorgeous save. But overall, I thought the second half was great for Arsenal. And of course, Arsenal were continuing to, really kind of press Leverkusen, I would say about midway through the second half. And Leverkusen tried clearing a ball. It was not the greatest clearance. All of a sudden, it falls to Declan Rice, and he just takes a screamer of his own. It wasn't Eze level, but a screamer of his own, hits the right corner, or the right bottom corner of the net, and bam, it's just a beautiful goal. Rice, he likes to get involved. We've seen him do this before. Again, the game I think of is against Bournemouth now. It was not that level of goal. Honestly, I would say the goal today was better than the ones he had against Bournemouth that I can remember. But still, seeing him get involved, and this guy is just so good. I mean, we all know how good Declan Rice is. He might win, Player of the Year for the Prem, maybe other than maybe Bruno Fernandes, because that campaign is really starting to heat up. But regardless, I just thought that the second half looked great. And once you saw that second goal go in, it was over. It was over. Arsenal, I didn't feel really any fear, and I didn't see the players have that type of body language. It looked like the guys were confident, and it really looked like Leverkusen knew that their time was coming, and there really wasn't much that they could do after that. Another positive getting that lead in the second half was that we were able to rotate a little bit. I mean, being able to see Norgard, Masquera, I forget who else. Yeah, Martinelli came on. Like, it's just nice to have these guys come on in this type of game. Like, again, this is not your typical Prem game. This isn't your typical Cup game. This is the Champions League, and to see again that you're able to rest because you put yourself in that good of a position based off of those two goals, it just shows again how massive those goals were, and really how this sets up for Arsenal heading into this Sunday against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. My last thing I want to say about today's game is it's just the fact that they looked so much better in the second leg compared to the first leg. The first leg was really the more of the same of what we've seen the last couple of weeks, where it's really grinded out, kind of feel each other out, not really looking to make too many, serious risks and just kind of get it. And then, Arsenal go down actually in the first leg, and really I think it was still a penalty, but you kind of got bailed out a little bit with the penalty. Thank God Havertz made it. But this game would have been completely different if Leverkusen were heading into the Emirates today with a lead, where Arsenal were going to have to be all out attacking. Like, we don't know what was going to happen today. So I think the stuff that transferred from the second leg, even though it was as ugly as it, or excuse me, the first leg is, even though it was as ugly as it was, the fact that I thought the team responded really, really well today, and again, just played so much of a better brand of football, both attacking wise and even defending. I mean, you didn't allow a single goal, and of course you had 2 goals from open play, so there's really nothing I have to criticize here. I feel like Arteta got it right today. It just seems like the guys were enjoying themselves. It was a lot more free-flowing in my opinion. Again, maybe that's just because it's more European football. That's what we've been seeing in the Champions League this year with Arsenal, but I just wanted to say that I thought the team looked just overall so much better than they did last week. And my last point is, does this positive energy that Arsenal are starting to slowly cultivate, does it continue to transfer into the weekend? Look, over the weekend, you had a crazy win against Everton to now put yourselves 9 points clear, thanks to Max Dowman, and of course Manchester City bottling against West Ham. And then, of course, today, you're now going to the quarterfinal after beating Leverkusen. And then on Sunday, you'll have Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. And there's really 2 ways for me to look at this. One way is that Arsenal continue this positive momentum by really, just keeping the energy going. I mean, they're getting some goals now from open play. The last couple games, they're overall just feeling better about themselves. They have a little bit more of a leash in the Prem. You just advanced now again in the Champions League. I don't see why the team would not be taking the game on Sunday serious, especially because this is their first time to really get a serious trophy in years at this point. And again, I don't know how much you value the Carabao Cup, but still, it's been a long time since Arteta's even won a trophy with this team, let alone most of these guys have never even won one with Arsenal. So I think there's an edge there. But when we do look at Manchester City, I do think Manchester City are going to be up for this game because they know realistically that they're probably not going to win the Prem now. They put themselves in a little bit of a hole. And you just got embarrassed over 2 legs to Real Madrid. There wasn't much there and much fight, in my opinion, from the Manchester City team over those 2 legs. And I feel like this might be one of their few opportunities that they have left in the Carabao Cup to, kind of just try to get something out of the season, where the season at times looked really good for City, but there's also been some serious lows as well. So I think there's really just 2 ways to look at it. Again, is Arsenal going to continue the positive momentum, or will City really try to be up for this game, because this might be one of the final things that they can actually get out of this season before we really start to get, to the last couple of weeks. That's all I had in this video, though. Just really, again, proud of the boys for getting through. Wanted to talk about it. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. Drop any of your thoughts down below. TikTok will be in the description down below as well. And if you made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.